welcome back to Greenlands for the last time. Very weird having been playing this save now for 14 to 15 months and 69 episodes. It's become quite attached to it. So in front of me we have the silage crew that are in to clear the last field that we have in a harvestable state, which is this decent sized field of corn or maize. So that's going to go into the fermenting bunkers. But before we get into that, we'll just have a quick recap of things and see where we've ended up. So back over at what has been our farm for this whole save. Just have a quick look at some of the stats and things, shall we? And then we'll get stuck in. So we're in year 3, nearly 200 hours. I don't know if at any point that's been reset where I've changed things or where we had the problem with mod conflicts and stuff. But even so, it's not too bad. Fertilizer used 658,000 liters of fertilizer. That's pretty insane. Yeah, so you know, from animals we've got 2, 3, 400, 600 sheep now. We could probably have more if we had more space, but we don't. We sold all the beef cattle last time. We've got our 240 dairy cows that have been one of the mainstays of making us lots of money. So if we have a quick look back at the last few months in game, obviously some decent expenses, but every month we've been making at least £1.5 million, some more. The variability is down to some amount of milk, which I find surprising. Maybe the milk price plummeted then. A lot of whether we've sold things or not, and how hard we've been working the BGA. So those have been pretty fundamental milk and biogas outputs. So we started with a £10 million loan, not euros, which is what I'm on. Let's just fix that, shall we? So we started with a £10 million loan. We've got 9.4 million in the bank now. And if we have a look at time-saving stock check, we have another £3 million worth of stock there. So there's the sugar beets that we harvested last time. But probably we wouldn't sell those. Most of the crops up here we probably wouldn't be looking at selling. They would be going into feed. But we do have, if we scroll down, solid fert, we would be selling that, and we continuously producing that, which is cool. Same with the lime, we'd probably sell that. And one of the big ones, clothes, nearly £1 million worth of clothes. So yeah, potentially we're sitting on a farm which now has a value of about £12 million from being 10 million in debt. And most of that 10 million went into initially setting up the farm. So we have a look at the map. We own quite a bit of the farm, quite a bit of the map, obviously. I don't remember buying the road area, but we might have had to do that might have been to play when I placed the sell point, but we have got half of the wild area, whatever it was called, where we had the mega field. There's a couple of, half £1 million worth of land there, and then all of this land here. I think originally one of my goals, and probably what I would have done if Maize Plus hadn't swung the fortune of this so much, was to buy what I felt like was the farm, which was kind of this area bounded by the river and the road. Originally I did buy fields, I think 4 and 40, or I'm plot numbers, aren't I? Originally, I did buy fields 40 and 39 and maybe 34. I was going to put grapes in there until I realized that we wouldn't make any money out of grapes. But yeah, one of my original plans was to buy all of that, which we could easily do now, but we just didn't need the land with how we were running things. Yeah, so I think we've done pretty well, largely due to Maize Plus. And how much money we could make from the milk and the cows, and also from the BGAs. We have the mini BGA there, which was feeding the dryer there with digestate to make fertilizer. That was a big part of our income. We've got a bunch of the generators floating around from the first version of the Lizard modular BGA. So they're not the ones that are in the updated version. They behave a lot like my BGA network distributor if you wanted to recreate this. And then down here, I can pick something that it will let me jump to. We had the industrial BGA. Originally, the plan was that the mega field, which is just over there, was going to be corn silage every year, and all of that would be fed through the industrial BGA. As it was, the huge clamps full of maize silage ended up going to feeding the cows last year, and that would have been the same next year. We had a bit of an experiment with large-scale chicken farming, but I got bored of that. It was a lot of work with Maize Plus. Good returns, but a lot of work and a lot of cost. So, and also early on, we had to play. I had to play with productions. So you can see we've got the spinnery there that produces clothes as well. Did a bit of work with chocolate at the dairy. We had the sugar mill running. We had the oil press running, so that's over there. And I think I had a grain mill in here. I think, but we've now got some more of the network generators. Yeah, so let's, I think, get stuck in to this last silage harvest. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to use autodrive mostly to do the carting. I've stripped out a lot of the autodrive network and made it much more basic. I'm hoping that it's going to behave. The plan is that we'll be taking this over to the fermenting silos. We've got 3 carters, got Elite Farming's Richard Weston trailers. Yes, I was inspired by a bit of Tom Pemberton and a bit of Farm Sim Guy. And that's very similar to Tom Pemberton's setup there. Yeah, the idea is I'm going to run the forage harvester and autodrive will run the carting. But while we get the field opened up, I'm going to try and use follow me. We'll get follow me engaged. If it will engage. Doesn't seem to have. No, let's go. There we go. Let's see if it's going to hook onto that. Yep, there we go. And then I'm going to get the follow distance really small. Not that small. I've still got fast moving on, so I'm going to turn that off once I'm in the vehicle. There we go. Let's turn that off. Right. Start her up, open her up, unfold it, and yeah. So I've got autodrive all set up, ready to go. I just need to open a bit of the field up because the autodrive waypoint is down there. So once we've got that opened up, I think I can probably put autodrive on at that point. But I'm kind of hoping that follow me is going to kick in. I'm going to set cruise control very slow and see if follow me can do the job. Yeah. Does not seem to be. There we go. That's weird. I'm going to. Can I? I'm pretty sure I can adjust the follow distance. If not, we'll just open the field up and then get autodrive running. It's been a while since I've used follow me to do this. I used it a lot on Calmsden and had a lot of success. But I have forgotten the key controls. So follow right control, right shift. There we go. There we go. So that is now working. And I think what I'll do is try and get a trailer almost full, and then we'll set auto drive up and get that going. Yeah. So this one is one of the rare almost lives that I've done. And I thought it would just kind of work, hopefully. And if this ends up being a longer video, it ends up being a longer video. It's the end of something that's been part of what I've been doing with YouTube stuff now for a very long time, as I said. So it felt like a good way to wrap the series up, particularly with doing a silage harvest. So yeah. So it's Friday. I'm not sure what day this video is going to come out. Maybe Sunday or Monday. At the moment, at this point, the improvised animal shed pack is in console testing still. It's been in console testing for about a day. I'm assuming that console testing is only going to take about a day. So I'm hopeful that it might have released later today. That would be cool. It would be nice if it came out before the weekend, because I suspect then it might get a fair bit of people playing with it. We'll see. It would also be kind of nice if it came out on another of the many quiet days for mods that we've had recently, because that means it will be on the front page. You know, if it releases when 50 mods come out, it might get pushed to the second page, and then less people see it, which is kind of annoying. Right, that's one trailer full, so I can just control FU. Page to dismiss, don't we? And then I'm not sure how it's going to handle it, but we're going to bung auto drive on. It may end up going through the hedge. And then we're going to do C7, and we're going to do the Deutz. And I'm going to wait in here for one of them to make their way over. And we'll see if the JCB can work out how to get itself out of the field. There's an auto drive route that runs along the road, which looks like it's probably heading for, unless it's going to reverse all the way back. There it goes. There is an auto drive route across the grass field as well, so it may pick that one up. I can probably show you while I wait as the T7 goes ploughing through the hedge. So there's an auto drive course along there. There's a loop around the field, and then there's one that cuts off across the grass field, because all the fields between here and the silos are harvested. So thought that would work okay. And there we go. We've picked up the trailer, I think. Yep, let's go. Hopefully this is going to work. Looks like it is. Awesome. So pleased, and the JCB is finding its way. I don't know if you remember, last time I tried to do this, I had issues with them not tipping when they got to the silo. I'm hoping that that's not going to be a problem this time. When I tested it, they would tip. So it might be okay, it might not. I stripped the complete old auto drive network out, so that there was much less going on for auto drive, in the hope that it would be better behaved. As it is, it seems to have gone over to the trigger over there. But we are calling the second trailer, so things might work out. There's an exit to the field down the bottom corner to go out onto the road that it can use. It can use the exit that I've just been past there and cut across the two harvested fields. And then coming back, it can either come across the field in front of us because it's been harvested, or it can go around the tracks and in the corner where we started. So plenty of options for how it can get to the target. Where are you going, Mr. New Holland. Is it full? It's 86% full. So it might be that we need to wait for the next tractor. We'll just get ourselves ready. There goes the JCB. Off, say, across, because, you know, across the grass field, that's fine. We probably wouldn't do that in real life, but for this, it's fine. New Holland is driving through the middle of the corn, and here comes the Deutz. So we should see the JCB. It will go down to the main entrance road to the farm, loop round, tip, come back up. That's the theory. And I've gone for 3 carters to try and hopefully be able to keep moving more continuously. Obviously, while it gets itself set up, that's not quite working. So there goes the JCB. I'm going to tab across to our sheet and see if it will actually tip. That'll have really screwed up autodrive trying to pick up the forage harvester, but I want to check this is going to work. There we go. Excellent. So let's see if we can get another headland going. There we go. Should be easier for autodrive once we've got headland open, because it can run alongside me rather than having to run behind. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys watched FSG's stream where he did a big grass silage harvest using these trailers, which kind of reminded me about them. And they were saying about how the forage harvesters in 22 do kind of randomly spray stuff everywhere. And that is definitely something that we've just seen. So, you know, it's a thing in 22, but hopefully it won't cause too many issues. So I think I'm going to run a couple of headlands to make plenty of room to turn, and then I've got the macro keyboard set up, and we'll switch enhanced vehicle on, the GPS bit of enhanced vehicle anyway, and we'll run that, because I kind of like running that. So it worked really well on the beet harvesting. There, here comes the JCB, which is good because we're 60% full on the Deutz. So 3 carters looks like it should be just about enough, assuming that autodrive quite quickly picks up the need for the second carter. So see if it responds. That's it at the waypoint, and there it goes. Awesome. So hopefully it will be along in a second. The T7 is on its way back. The Deutz, I think, is backing out, and that's quite convenient. There is an exit from the field just in front of us that it could take, but it might not. I noticed when I was testing it that it preferred to use the route across the field. So we'll wait and see. Looks like it might be getting lost. Okay. Because there's no autodrive network over that way. Oh well. We'll hopefully it will find its way back, and we've got the T7 on its way back over as well to pick up the slack. In fact, the T7 is already there. Are they going to crash into each other? Hopefully the T7 will be called fairly soon. So what next? I kind of teased in the last Greenlands video that I have picked a map, and I have, and we are going to Saxthorpe next. That's, if you've not seen any of the stuff on that, that's Farmsim Briscoe's new map, so the creator of the Oaks. It's a normal size map, He is planning on mod hub release for it. I have got an in progress copy. It's very close to being complete, and it's certainly complete enough that I think I can start playing on there. So that's the plan. It might start later this week. I am so Farmson Briscoe sent me a copy at the beginning of the week, and then he messaged me to say that he wanted to make some changes to it. So by the time this comes out, I might have that updated version. There's some stuff that I need to do for him, or I have offered to do for him for the map to be included. So I need to get that sorted. Oh, where are you going? I thought I was controlling the JCB for a second then. But yeah, so we're going to Saxthorpe. So yes, it's another English map. I'd toyed with a few others. I'd toyed with an American map. But there we go. Back in the trailer. You know, at my heart, I really enjoy playing on English maps. Saxthorpe feels really nice to me, having looked around it. I've not picked out a yard or anything yet. I think probably it's going to be some sort of start from scratch, because there's a good chance that, being quite early in development, I don't think I haven't checked, but I'm not sure if Farmson Briscoe will have set up a new farmer mode yet. So they have got stuck. Oh, you go. You nearly fall. I'm not sure there will be a new farmer mode set up. So if that's the case, we'll do a start from scratch and see where we go from there. I've got a couple of ideas for goals. Oh, someone come kart for me. It was all going too well, I think. Yeah, I've got a couple of ideas for goals. Was watching Mr. Farouk. Sorry, not sure how you say that one. His tour of Glenleith, which is another map which really interests me, because I really love Cavalier Rose maps. But then one of his videos popped up where he's got a own the map challenge, and that might be the goal for Saxthorpe. I want to focus more on arable farming than animal farming anyway, so that might work really well for a goal for that series. Yeah, you guys know, hopefully I do better with a goal. Can someone come kart for me? Please. There we go. The T7 is on its way. I always do better with the goal, and I've never done that where I've tried to own a whole map. So not a definite, because I have no idea how long that's going to take. Might mean that I play on easy mode so that we can make more money. I've not really thought yet about mods. Probably will have precision farming on, because I just enjoy using precision farming more than I enjoy using base game. Because I'm not focusing on animals, I might not run Maize Plus, which will be weird. Yeah. Beyond that, I haven't really had much of a think. I've picked a map, and we're going to go from there. So I might not run precision farming initially, because I'm going to be on a pre-release copy of the map. There is every chance that I'll have to move map versions at least once, if not more. And precision farming makes that a bit more complicated. So what I might do is, for the first year or part of year, run without precision farming and add that in maybe in like the spring or something. Come on. But yeah, so that's the plan. Saxthorpe, I have not picked where we're going to start on there. There's a farm I really like on there, but it's cow farm. predominantly, and I don't want to do that. So what I need to have a look at is, I think, if probably to start off with, finding a smallish yard that we can get started on there. I don't think I'm going to have any kind of limitations on how I can play the game, you know. So like on here, I had no contracts. On Maypole, we've got the kind of hard mode and like time periods and stuff. I think probably what it'll be is I'll just play Farm Sim with whatever mods I end up choosing, with a goal of owning the whole map. I think one caveat for that would be that it is own, and so not be mortgaged out the, yeah, you know what, to own it. So it's probably owned and out of debt. Let's go with that. It's a really interesting one because for me, you know, it was when Kartek and I did the competitive multiplayer, I kept saying land was king, and I've never have, but very rarely, certainly not in 22, have I run a series where I've focused on buying lots of land, apart from competitive multiplayer. In 19, I did do something like that. When I did the one tractor challenge on Homeworld, I ended up in, when I did a second season of that where I got rid of the one tractor limitation, I owned a lot of that map. And a lot of big fields. So, but I think it's gonna be a fun one to. Can you switch to the JCB? Yeah, can you shoot into there? There we go. So we can get a bit of space. Awesome. And then they can sort themselves out, hopefully, or not. I think we will send the New Holland off to empty. Make some space. Having all three waiting is not great. But so far, it's going quite well. Yeah, I've really enjoyed playing on Greenlands. I am guilty of doing what I say I do quite a lot and really focusing on one part of the map. And auto drive. Where's the button to call a call driver? Oh, we've got one now. Okay. Yeah, I'm really guilty of not exploring all of the map, so it's a bit risky, but whole section of the map up here I've not really visited, so you know, there is that. And that's one of the things I like about Maypole, is that I've explored huge amounts of the map because of the way that, you know, I'm playing on there, and with all the contracting and stuff, it has meant that I've covered a lot more of the map. And obviously trying to own the whole map, that will be a big feature of that as well. So you get on a heading, and I'm going to hit that button. I think it's that button. All right. Show lines. Yep, it's that button. And then we're going to turn on GPS. And hopefully off we go. I'm going to cut another headland at the bottom, and then we'll run the up-down rows. Is the plan. I might cut in, and then things should run better that way, I think. It's been ages since I've tried to do this myself. I was obviously on the Megafield, had Courseplay running and autodrive running together, but it's been a while since I've done this element with autodrive supporting, so see how things go. So I'm using the button box for this, and so far I'm mega impressed with it. There are quite a lot of buttons I'm not using, partly because I forget. But yeah, I really like it. It's really good for quickly being able to do things like that and turn the lines off without having to remember some horrendously complicated button combination. And as I said, for enhanced vehicle, it uses a lot of key combinations that are on and around the numpad and the special keys, so home, page up, page down, all that kind of thing. My laptop does not have all of those, so that makes the key combinations even more complicated and less reliable. So having it on my laptop is awesome because I can map keys that don't exist on the keyboard. The other thing is, so, I have in the past used like Control V, Control X, Control B to raise, lower, fold, whatever, every implement. But I love that, and apparently Vehicle Control add-on has it, and I just wasn't aware. I love that I can turn on and off the front or rear, and I can lift and lower and raise the front and rear independently. It's so much better. I really like it. So I think you can expect to see this on Saxthorpe for sure, and probably in the future on other saves. And the nice thing, we didn't actually, so last night did the Terra live stream, but didn't actually do any farming because there weren't any jobs to do. But it will be really nice on there because they run enhanced vehicle. So I'll be able to make use of GPS easily. I still struggle to use Wopster's GPS. Can we not crash? Can we not crash? I guess not. Sort that out in a second. Just get the forage harvester in place. And I am going to cut in. I think if we cut in on 7, should be okay. There we go. And now let's go sort out these guys. 70% full. Tempted to get this one out on. Get this one on its way back to the farm, I think. So we're just going to head around here and get it on the right bit of the auto drive course. There we go. No, you don't wait for a call, you go tip. And then if I'm in here, hopefully, there we go. JCB has responded. And I can get lined up and wait. Let's do headland mode. We are going to do turn off cruise control. And we will set the headland distance to 16 meters. See how that works. There we go. Helps if you lower the header. Come on. I'm not sure why the Deutz has come back, but I guess that's partly why we have 3 carters, because it has. There we go. Perfect. So once we've opened up the field here, should be much easier then to keep everything running. Hopefully. I said in the mega field video about how close auto drive follows. Thanks to Brian for saying that's actually what they do. So Brian is a farming contractor who's done a fair bit of silage, I think, and yep, they do get that close, if not closer. So, yeah, a lot of trust going on there. At this point, we'll say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. So I need to make a note of the time of that, and I do not have a piece of paper handy. That should be okay. There we go. Yep. So thank you guys. Really appreciate the patrons and the YouTube channel members and all of their support. Yeah. It's the patrons. Because the patron provides a lot more. It encouraged me to do things like make the little button box, because I didn't mind spending the cash, and definitely not making it back on the YouTube video. But I get a cool thing to play with, so there is that. Did I lift the header up? I did. There we go. That'll be why. It's gone brilliantly. You should not be waiting for a call. You should be going to tip. I'll back up. Our auto drive sorts itself out so I can get those missed bits. And round it goes. Where it ends up, nobody knows. Let's go. This should get easier now. Apart from the fact that I always have to turn in on auto drive. So what I might actually do is change how I'm doing this, so that I can keep auto drive on my left or right. That's the JCB4. Hopefully the T7 is going to respond. And here it is. A little while later, not that long, but just decided to pause the recording while we waited for auto drive to sort itself out. Hopefully the Deutz will now go off and tip. But yeah, I think it'd be better if I can keep turning right. So we might run down the edge of the field and then eat away at this one and then eat away at the other one. I think that might work better, rather than trying to constantly turn in on auto drive. I don't think that's going to work too brilliantly. It's been a while since I've done a lot of this kind of stuff with auto drive. It's how I like to use auto drive, because it means I can drive for the harvester, which is obviously more fun. I'm thinking that I might pick up that very edge path there. Hopefully that'll keep up, and then we'll switch tracks. And just kind of eat away at it like that. That feels like a sensible approach to speeding this process up. Cut across now, and then finger poised on the button to do that, and then I missed a bit. Definitely much gentler turning with enhanced vehicle with this piece of kit. When I was using the root crop harvester, it was quite brutal, but with this, it's quite delicate. And the Deutz has decided that it wants to cart some more. Well done, you. So we're going to end up, I think, with a period where we don't have a carter available. Not the end of the world. We go on track 9 now. There we go. And we'll wait for someone to find us. it's nice that it's doing the emptying on its own. That is quite cool. Almost feels like apart from the fact that they're getting tangled up a little bit, like we needed 4. Oh, you're going to take a little bit more. Excellent. Well done, you. You are going to take a full trailer. It's quite nice. With a bit of luck, the JCB will be back by the time we've topped off the trailer on the Deutz. Come on. Come on. Don't tell me you've got stuck. No. And it's nice not having hedge collisions, but sometimes it would be nice to have hedge collisions. I think the way GB did it for Attingen, where the header down, where you could turn them off, was quite nice. Because, yeah, I think sometimes that worked quite well. But no collisions at all. Encourages autodrive to cheat, definitely. That's 2 full trailers. Yep, 2 full trailers. Let's have a look at how. Because I think it's all going into... Oh no, they are putting into 2 of them. Cool. One of them is obviously set to the other fermenting silo. I just forgot I did that. Got a decent amount of silage additive in there. I'm not planning to get more. If we run out, I'm not going to worry. Not too bothered about completely maximising the yield. T7 is off the tip. Hopefully the Deutz will go this time. And here comes the JCB. It's working. Let's check the weather forecast. I have plenty of time. So the reason that I've got it on half time is so that rain doesn't come in. I did not want to have to feed all the animals again. So the reason that I'm planning initially to not start with animals and Maize Plus on Saxthorpe is that it was so much work. Now I guess the thing that I should think about is if I do plan to add animals, I would want Maize Plus. So maybe I should add Maize Plus in at the start anyway, because it's not really going to affect anything until we get to the point where we have animals. So maybe I should do that. I can't see me playing an entire playthrough without ending up getting animal. Particularly because there's a really nice cow yard on there. And if we're going to end up owning the whole map, we're going to end up owning all of the animal pens. Now that might mean that actually we shouldn't, because there's going to be a lot of animals. Yeah, I have to ponder that one a bit. I think. I don't know how many animals all of the sheds on Saxthorpe can hold, but it's a lot. I bet it's a lot. And I'm not saying that I want to do that as part of it. My intent is that I'm going to aim to own all of it, not necessarily fill all of it. We will farm all of the fields if we own them. But I'm not necessarily going to fill every animal shed. That might be a bit much. What do you think? Make a comment below, I guess. Both trailers are emptying, which, yep, does confirm that I had at least one tractor. I have one tractor set to one of the other silos, which is cool. And just in time, the T7 is back. We've also got one more run on this block and then the other block to do, and that will be the end of it. It was it's really weird, the idea of recording this last episode, and that's why I did a bit more prep so that hopefully this would work well, and it has, which is nice. Because I've been playing on it here so long now, I have had moments of, you know, kind of a love-hate with this sometimes because of the amount of feeding that we've had to do for animals, sometimes the scale of jobs down on the mega field, which is over there. But equally, I've really enjoyed it. So, you know, I think it's one of those things with a bigger challenge that occasionally you'll get a bit fed up with it. Had 2 months where I wasn't playing on it because of the laptop issues that most of you are probably aware of. And it was nice when I could start playing on it again. So, and back then I was playing this and Calmston. And when I asked, the preference was that this came back over Calmston, and I don't see myself going back to Calmston. I'm not sure whether, and I think I spoke about it in the last Maypole video, I'm not sure when I'm going to play Court Farms either, because I said we're going to Saxthorpe next on here. Maypole is what Maypole is. I'm not just going to drop that because that's got a lot left in it that I want to do. And I don't want to do 3 series. I am going to stick to 2 Let's Plays and the Patrons Let's Play and tutorials, because it's been really nice getting more playtime on each save. So I am not intending to go back to 3. And when I was doing 3, so I was doing Attingham as well, it was mainly because the Attingham one was supposed to be a short 1 year of play to show off Maze Plus, and I ended up doing 2 years, and might not finish the 2nd year because I kind of got to the point with that one where I was done and I was struggling to play that one, and so I stopped. And again, it was because, and I remember talking about it at the time, I'd achieved the goal. The goal was to show off Maze Plus. I'd done that. So, and that's why I think, you know, I do so much better with a focus for how I'm doing things. So the whole map challenge is one that I've not tried before, and I think could be fun. I might regret saying that in a month or 2's time, when I actually comprehend how much work it is. Am I being... No, I need to head up here, don't I? Not being dim. I just haven't squared this block off yet. And that's okay. A bit of speed. And then wait for autodrive to catch up. There we go. Yeah, definitely takes it a moment to pick up the trailer. And that's not the trailer, that's FS22. Trailers have worked really well. I'm trying to think if there are any particular highlights on this series. Kind of feeling like this is, to be honest, with how well it's working. Kind of feeling like this is a highlight. Paying off the loan, the point where we did that was obviously a highlight. I think the wool and the clothes has been a good one. I'd kind of ignored that before because I'm not a massive fan of productions, but that's a bit of a game changer in terms of how much money you can make. might be one that features on Saxthorpe as a way to make a bunch of cash, to be able to buy all the land. I'm assuming, because I haven't looked in detail, I don't actually, I think, yeah, I haven't looked in detail. I'm assuming Saxthorpe has productions built in and stuff, so if not, we'll make space and maybe we'll put some in. So the reason that I don't want to do animals, and therefore talking about productions mean I might not, is I want to do a bit less of, you know, bale handling and pallet handling. I want to do more field work. So the theory of what I want to do works. Might mean not doing, you know, we're going to have, there'll be lots of grass fields, I imagine. We'll be doing grass work, so that will have bales, but I'll use a bale collector for that, because that'll make life easier. Yeah, so probably a lot less front loader work and feed mixing, all that kind of thing. And more being in tractors doing stuff. And as the farm gets big, because I don't think Saxthorpe is going to suit big kit. It's a map that's for smaller and medium-sized kit. It's a UK map. That's how things work in the UK. But then in Norfolk, there are some farms with quad tracks and stuff. So, you know, maybe we'll end up with some of that size kit. But certainly initially, I think it'll be multiples of more medium and smaller stuff, and so horseplay and autodrive helping me out will be a thing. I'm hoping I don't have to wait too long for autodrive, well, for the map to release and then for autodrive guy to do his thing, because his network has made Maypole so much easier. And I can build an autodrive network, but his autodrive networks are really nice and complete. Yeah, definitely be making use of things like that. It'll make life so much easier to be doing things all across the map. I mean, I guess it's nice that it's not a 4x map that I'm trying to achieve that on. I had thought about going onto the Oaks without the whole map challenge, because I just really like it. Thompson Briscoe's style of maps. So this won't surprise some of you, but you guys know I don't like change. So one way of achieving that whilst keeping things fresh is to use maps from the same few modders. Yep. I'm going to contradict myself now, because one thing I really did enjoy doing was the mini-series. The Ohio mini-series was a lot of fun, and the grapes and the sugarcane were a lot of fun. And something I might mix in at some point in the future is another mini-series, and that would allow me to go and do a different style of map. Whether that's US or European, we'll see. I quite like some of the sort of Eastern European style maps. So it might be that I have to do a visit to one of those at some point. Or that might be so I do a series for Patreon, and that series is also coming to an end. It might be that I have not picked a map for that yet, and that might pick up my itch for a different style of farming. So we'll see. We will see. Come on, Mr. T7. I think we've got two more strips to go, and we'll be done. Oh, I've no idea how long this video is. I've just been kind of rabbiting away and occasionally stopping the recording for different things. So But, you know, it kind of seems fitting that it might end up having been a monster episode for the last one. For those that are fans of stupidly long videos. Let's pick up. Come on. I'm trying to manually get myself on the track a bit more to try and improve the speed of lining up. One more run and Greenlands is done. That's pretty scary. Pretty scary. Well, not scary, but you know what I mean. Started in March last year. Not March this year. March 2022. I do play maps for a long time. I really do. It looks like we're going to finish tipping in to the Deutz, which is cool because it's one of my favourite tractors. So, the T7, I have no affinity to, but I've really enjoyed using it on here. I really like JCBs and I really like Deutz, and that's why those are the tractors that are running on this. Having so much cash on here has allowed me to have a lot of the kit that I really enjoy that I don't always get to play with. The only thing really that I haven't had like that is a 2-track, which I did have on Calmston, and I think might be one of the things that we aim for on Saxthorpe. Obviously, we've got one on Green Valley. You will have seen that there hasn't been a Green Valley video at the weekend. Last weekend I didn't have the time. This week, Cartech hasn't had the time. It's how it works, you know. We kind of have a window where we generally can both be available, but if for whatever reason one of us ends up having plans in that window, it kind of messes it up. So that's why that is occasionally somewhat infrequent. The dog bell went and completely threw my concentration then, so I don't actually remember what I was talking about. But let the JCB go through. We are on the last road of the last thing we will do on Greenlands. GPS enabled. Wait for autodrive. It seems to have, not sure which track it's put us on. I'm actually going to reverse up. So there we go. GPS. Bosh. Let's go. And then we'll see how much we got. And that'll be it. All done. Those trailers do look nice, don't they? If you want those, they are on Elite Farming's Discord. I had to do a bit of searching to find them on there. They are PC only because of the branding and because the Elite Farming and the guys that helped him create them don't want to go through the pain of Mod Hub, which is understandable. When they were on FSG stream, there were a few people saying just make them Lizard, but you know it's not just people debranding them, it's also people wanting to go through the Mod Hub process, and they don't. So you know, that is modder's choice after all. But they're really nice trailers. I think we'll be using these on Saxthorpe. He has a full set of Rich Western trailers, and I think they will fit in perfectly. I think he's got the low loader as well. So anyway, we are done. Field work complete. So I'm going to turn off the JCB. Let autodrive bring that back. I'm going to jump in the Deutz, go tip this and see how much we got. And then we'll wrap things up. Although I kind of did most of that at the start, so yeah. I'll show you the route that they've been taking to get back to the farm. Yes, in reality, you probably wouldn't do this. So those of you future Terra Life fans, doing this would destroy your grass because we have crop destruction 10.0, I think they're currently labeling it. So driving across a grass field like this would damage your grass, kind of like in reality. And you probably wouldn't drive across a combined field like this, but you know, it sped the process up. Now, speeding the process up might not have helped with tractors crashing into each other, but, you know, the yard is a bit of a mess, but I'm not going to worry about that. There we go. So how much did we get off of that field? Don't remember if I reset it. I think yep, that looks about right. 445,000 litres of maize for silage. And we're ending up with a farm. I'm going to get my overall environmental score. I think I need to scroll through. God, I'm such a noob. There we go. 89 is our overall environmental score, which is not too bad, is it? It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. And we've ended up, so £9.5 million in the bank, pretty much. Whole load of stuff. The manure pit is full, you know. Time-saving stock check. It's got us at about 3 million. By the time we'd fermented the maize, well, that's going to be feed. So, yeah, you know, let's call it 12.5 million in the bank from 10 million pounds in debt. Pretty successful. And that is it. So, if you've enjoyed this series, click the like button. If you've watched this far, click the like button. Any parting comments or questions or whatever, stick them below. And I won't see you next time on Greenlands.